Good evening, sir.
Good evening, thank you.
Sir, may we know your name, your identity?
I am Chief John U. Anusia.
From
Well, do you say Imo State or North local government?
you. Do you know about the things that are moving the things that are moving around in the news nowadays recently concerning Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? Do you know Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? Have you heard about him and his struggles?
Yeah. I do not know him physically. I do not know him as somebody. I know Nnamdi Kanu as a proto-genius man.
Yeah.
That is advocating and also insisting on the liberation of his people, the Biafrans of Igbo ethnic group.
Is that only Igbos and others? Or the Biafrans in general?
Biafrans in general.
All right, sir. You know about the movement, the machinery, the group, the body that he is using in steering this struggle?
Yeah.
Called the Indigenous Peoples of Biafra, IPOB. Have you heard about them?
Yes. It's quite a very fine, formidable instrument of advocating for the freedom of his people. The indigenous people of Biafra is not a fake.
Right.
It is designated to those who are from a particular ethnic area. And these are people who believe in struggling hard to live well.
And to make their living.
They are made up of intellectuals. These are people that have insisted that if they are no longer wanted in Nigeria, they should go on their own. And based on that, all and sundry.
Please, sir, thank you. You have highlighted a little problems, some of the problems that the Biafrans are suffering in the Nigerian setup, the British estates, so to say.
Yeah, this thing, this is a particular tribe that believes in progress. And based on that, they make sure they train their children.
Yes.
To be very, very, very versatile in the scheme of things. And I think because of this level of understanding of our fathers, that their children should be well trained and educated, this group of people manifested this intellectual output, believing in using their hands to do a lot of good things that will benefit them. And I think it was based on this that the particular formation of the Nigerian contraction decided to sort of humiliate, incarcerate this group of people that believe in development.
Development.
Yes. The Biafrans is the name Biafra is a very proper noun, and it was based on that name, Biafra, that the British government started seeing a lot of funny things about them. I want to remember that during the war, during the Biafran War, for which I was an outstanding partaker in the system,
You're a veteran, so to say.
So to say, a legend or a veteran. The struggle for this departure from perpetual humiliation from the Nigerian government started long time after the creation of the so-called independence. But you have forgotten that it was the Biafrans that fought effortless to get this independence. What have we been able to get? Incarceration, humiliation, destruction, marginalization, killing. I mean, a lot of unwanted
Human treatments.
human treatments to this particular ethnic group. This ethnic group believes in development. They are very explorative, very expeditionary. They like to find out things and keep building on that.
So thank you very much for that, sir. Having now said such, you have highlighted all those ills, that have been meted on the Biafrans. And as such, that worked the spirit of self-determination, that they want now to go back to where they were, because they were there before Nigeria came. So, someone, as you have just said, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is on the
He's on the right track.
right track, steering the ship
Yes.
of restoration of the nation of Biafra.
Yes.
Now, he has been doing so many things in his activities. How do you see his activities? What do you say about that?
Yeah,
What he's doing?
Yeah, let me call you back. This is a continuation
Yeah,
of the Biafra War.
yeah,
He is one amongst us who has felt bad about the humiliation of the Biafrans. And don't forget, it was because of the humiliation, inhuman attitudes that gave rise to the Biafran War in 1967. In fact, a lot of things accumulated. And he is now establishing the continuity of allowing these people to get away, because it was the cause of the Biafra War. I mean, it was the disparities in the distribution of the amenities in Nigeria that led to the Biafra War. And Ujuku abundantly said it at that time, that we were being marginalized, and that he felt it was too long having waited for the Nigerian government to resurrect or to restructure issues, and which they failed. And that gave rise. It was one of the immediate reasons for the Biafra War. It was one of the immediate reasons. The marginalization of the Igbo man called the Biafrans, the particular ethnic group, you continue to incarcerate them in any form. Keep killing. And Nnamdi Kanu, after the war, discovered that this same purpose of the immediate and the remote and immediate causes of the Biafra War are still existing, and so insisted that there has to be a shift. That we should be, the Biafra should be recognized in the scheme of things in Nigeria. And because of that, we had to fight. We had to fight the Biafra War. And at the end of it all, they decided that they are going to continue the same system, which is not good.
Thank you, sir, very much. Because of this struggle being led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB,
Yeah.
the IPOB in her activities were following a due process, and they took the line of peaceful movements, as it is being recognized today by international community. peaceful protest, and the peaceful protests are also enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution, which the Nnamdi Kanu and his group are using to, press their points home. Now, having, follow such a, rule, and along the line, Nigeria government tagged them terrorist group. How do you see it? Is it correct?
It cannot be correct because they do not understand what we mean by human being. The Nigerian government is a conglomeration of people with low quotient. If not, they would have taken their lessons from the Biafra war. If they were intelligent enough, if they have the sense of governance, they would have taken correction from the Biafra war, because what led to the Biafra war is still prevailing.
Yeah.
And that is why Nnamdi Kanu is insisting that it must not continue. And his cause is very much embraced by all of us, especially the veterans. We were in the bush for 3 good years. We were in the bush for 3 good years, fighting for our liberation, fighting for our freedom. And at the end of it, they said, no victor, no vanquish. What does that mean? There must be a victor, but there must be a vanquish in the process of war. Okay, having accepted that,
So
we thought there would be a shift to the proper perspective, cancelling the remote and immediate causes of the Biafra war. But that same thing is still insisting. And so the cause of Nnamdi Kanu is justified by so many of us who are the living veterans today, including me.
yeah. Now, the tagging of IPOB terrorist group, what do you say about it?
No, that is nonsensical. It's nonsensical. If the IPOB is a terrorist group, as it stands, by their claim, they couldn't have, the world body couldn't have recognized the presence and advocations of Nnamdi Kanu.
Yeah.
For now, you can see that Nigeria has been classified in the 14th list of the terrorist nation. So if Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist, the international body cannot give him any orders, not to talk of allowing him to stay in any other countries. So Nnamdi Kanu is an advocate of freedom of the IPOB. He is not a terrorist, and IPOB is not a terrorist organization at all.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, looking at this perspective, Nigeria as a country now, as it's being recognized maybe by the international community and some other groups, comparing Nigeria existence and you, what's your age now and the age of Nigeria? Can we,
I'm 89 years by age. I'm 89 for now.
yeah.
And then from the time of the bloody Lord Lugard, his enshrinement in 1914, Nigeria is as old as 50, is
Just 50-something years.
Nigeria is as old as 50,
56.
They carried out the anniversary the other time, I think 50, Nigeria at something. But that notwithstanding, the important thing is this. Has Nigeria taken any correction from the Biafra war? It is what we are talking about, that agitation, is what we are insisting on. Have they taken any correction from the Biafra war? If not, the present situation couldn't have continued.
So thank you very much, sir. As it looks now, recently, there's a tendency that the people that makes up Nigeria, those who are advocating for Nigeria now, are mostly made up of Fulanis, the foreigners. And Fulanis, They migrated from somewhere. They are not indigenous Nigerians. From the history of Nigeria, of the people that were indigenous here before the creation of the so-called amalgamation called Nigeria. The Fulanis weren't here. They are from Futajelon, from far away somewhere in Africa, made up, the descendants of the Arabs. How do we now consider it that the indigenous people are not terrorists? And now, by the way the governments of the day are carrying out things, they enter through the back door, invading people's land, hijacking and introducing all sorts of terrorist laws or rules, now suppressing or do I say intimidating the indigents. How do you feel about it?
It is completely inhuman if, like I rightly said, these are cattle rearers. And from the place of origination in the Futajelon Mountains, we used to call it Futajelon Mountains in our geography in those days. And when I was in the college, in our Cambridge in geography, we used to know places called the Futajelon Mountains. These places are supposed to be arid, no proper vegetation. The major occupation of those people were cattle rearing. And because they have nothing to write home about economically, they decided to migrate from one country to the other. As a matter of honest truth, from my geography, we know that this household of the Fulanis is Gambia. That is the place of origination, and that you can never hear about the economy of Gambia. It's an arid nation, it's an arid country, and that is why the majority of them are cattle rearers. They migrate from one place to the other. In recent times, the Nigerian government having taken power, conscious of the Fulanis. And what is their major? Their major is to make sure that many of these, their domicile brothers in all these arid areas, migrate into Nigeria, where they consider is very fertile, give them places to stay, accommodate them, and then humiliate the origins, the original owners of the land. And by the system the present government of Nigeria is running, discover that it's only the Fulanis that are ruling the country now. There is nothing like appropriate administration channeled towards the constitution. Nothing like that. There's nothing like that at all. They now, they cut and nail, they do what they want and get away with it. In fact, from our own concept of thinking, they are now ruling by code. There's no longer any constitutional references at all.
At all. Thank you very much, sir. That means that they are all their ruling and all their whatever the code, as you so call it,
it's out of the constitution.
It's tend towards emancipating the Fulanis and now downgrading the rightful owners, indigenous of the land.
Of the land.
Yeah. What is the take of Britain? Because you see, this is a creation of Britain, not natural. Because Nigeria is not natural by the way I see it. How do you see it, the take of Britain in this Nigerian business?
It has been very disappointing. Very, very disgraceful, very, very unexpected. The British government, the amalgamator of the two ethnic groups, has not been able to manifest sincerity. It was the British government that gave rise to the last Biafra war. I remember one of the ministers at that time, he was the Secretary of State to the British government, one Mr. Lugard. Lord Lugard. He was described as Lord Lugard. He was the Secretary of State to the British government at that time. When they struggled for the self-governance of the people of Biafra, when we started the war, there was a lot of propaganda against the intentions of Ojukwu. Ojukwu says, I and my people, the Biafrans, are no longer wanted in this country. It is better for us to push slightly apart than to come together and crash in the association. But Gowon said, no, I will go on with one Nigeria. And he said, no, Gowon, let us push slightly apart. And that pulling slightly apart is give these people what is their own position or allow them go. We were forcibly placed into the same bloody amalgamation by Lord Lugard. Now, the British government has played a very unpleasant role in the entire system, even till now. Recently, they pretended they have removed the embassy here, but we just about 2 days of last week, I heard them saying the British consulate, which means they are just putting here a spy, not running an embassy. So the British government is against the intentions of the Biafrans from leaving this, being extracted from Nigeria because of our economic letdown. The British government interest is because of our economy. The British government is having interest in our economy. It's not that they're not aware we are entitled to go in a way, because what led to the last war is still what is existing. And they will not make a categorical statement because because of our economy, which is improper. Their role has not been a faithful one at all. It's not fair.
Now, based on this position that the British government have taken, or the stand of the British government against the Biafrans, who are now struggling to get restored back to their nation where they were before, what do you say about that? What do you say now, or what do you have to tell the international community and world powers?
Yeah, thank you very much. At least the world powers, the United Nations, the other nations are aware of the history of the Biafran War. And many of them showed their sympathy in the 1967 war. Many of them showed their sympathy. But because it was a war in the battlefield. But this time, our leader is a very, very intelligent, brilliant, living soul. He says, I agree that in the course of war of independence, there will be bloodshed. I am not going that way. That gives him a pass mark. I will go by diplomatic approach, sounding the opinion of the whole world. Is it proper that a particular ethnic group should be so incarcerated, should be so destroyed, should be so badly treated? What is their offense? Because of their explorative tendencies, because they want development. Their offense is they like to explore, develop, and stay. That is the offense. If not, what has the Igbo, what has the Biafran done to the Alzheimer's?
Now, the next question is, what do you expect the world to do, or the world power to decide on the part of Biafra?
They have no other option than to grant us our independence.
God bless you, sir.
All matters have been exhaustively explained. This is why we have to go.
Thank you.
Why the Biafran restoration should stay is because these people are no longer wanted. So allow them to go. Queen Elizabeth said that. Queen Elizabeth of London, England said the other time. Extract Biafra from Nigeria.
Thank you. God bless you, sir.
What else do we want?
So now we know, that the activities of the leaders of the so-called the Biafrans, the leaders, the politicians, the crop of politicians we have here, governors, senators, and some other notable personalities, from their behaviors and the way they are handling issues concerning the restoration of Biafra. Do you foresee, or do you observe that the kind of saboteurs activities that is going on?
Yeah, it's an exposed fact. It's an open fact. But I will classify them without any due respect as mendicants. I will classify them without any due respect as mendicants, because many of them saw the causes of the Biafra War, the 1967 war, and they are still aware that those things that gave rise to that war are still existing, and they are still sidelining themselves because they are mendicants. They need money. So they are real saboteurs, and we are praying that they should come out of their funny situations.
Thank you. God bless you.
Before the battle line is drawn.
Please, one more question, sir. What advice do you have for Nigeria and Biafra?
For Nigeria, I would say that if somebody says he's tired of staying with you, you should let him go. If we are friends, the friendship is becoming sore, S-O-R-E, the best thing is to pull apart. If go on, like he rightly said, sometimes regretting fighting the Biafra war because he has seen the negativities against him, he wouldn't have gone to war. After all, he suffered more of the destruction. Many of his people were killed during the war, and that is why to the middle that is not having any combat officer anywhere. So the advice is, Nigerian government, the Biafran says they want to go because they are no longer wanted here by virtue of the treatment being meted to them. There is no Biafran that is any meaningful ambassadorial or ministerial post. Not one. Igbo man has been denied the opportunity to govern this country for how many, look at the decades. So the best thing is for us to go away, and that the Biafrans should continue to fight that cause of freedom.
All right, sir. God bless you. Thank you, sir.
And you too.
Before you go, can you remind us about your name?
I am Chief John U. Anozie, Igwebike 1 of Oji.
God bless you, sir. Thank you.
Bless you. Thank you.